If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Anthony Rocco Martin back on the show, coming off his unanimous decision victory over Ramazan Emeev over the weekend at UFC Moscow. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great. So you just got back from Russia. I have to ask, since I've never been to Russia, how was it?
It was awesome. It was a disaster getting out there, actually. I went to the airport. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, we're delayed. So I'm like, all right. 2 hours, keeps moving up every hour. But all of a sudden, they get us on the airplane finally. And then they're like, we're on the airplane for 2 hours. They're like, all right, we're going to have to get off the airplane. Something's wrong with the airplane. And then, so then we got to go to a different airplane. So then we get on this other airplane is smaller than the original airplane. So now they're like, hey, does anyone want a voucher to not get off the airplane? So, right away I'm thinking about how much we talked about here. But now I'm like, all right, I got to get off to Russia. So then we get to Russia. We miss our layover because we end up being delayed like 7 hours. So I missed my layover. Somehow they booked Brock on a direct flight from Amsterdam to Moscow, and they're like, yeah, we didn't book you. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't book me? Like, I forgot to go to Moscow. So like, all right, let's see what we have, So then I had to fly to Copenhagen, then Copenhagen to Moscow. So it took us about 25 or 26 hours to get there when it was supposed to be like a 13-hour trip. So that part was tough. But then we got there. I came in. Originally, I was going to be there a day early. Obviously, I got there the scheduled time that everyone arrives. So, I got there. I didn't have to worry about weight, so I was able to eat the whole time on the airplane and do all that stuff. And I came in really light anyway, so it was kind of a perfect beginning, other than the disaster of, being on the longer trip. But Moscow was awesome, man. It was clean. It was really clean there. The hotel we were at was really nice. The people were great. And then I really didn't do nothing. I stayed an extra day till Monday after the fight to kind of go see the Red Square, go see the Kremlin, and go see the White House and stuff like that.
Well, it was delayed arrival in Russia, but you got there. You came home with a win against a very tough guy. And I know that when we spoke, you were hoping to have that highlight reel finish in that fight. You said you wouldn't be satisfied coming home with the decision win. But now that it's come and gone, you went in there, you fought a tough guy, you got a win. Are you happy with it and happy with the performance?
Man, he was a lot tougher. He's a lot tougher than I thought. I thought that he would man, those Russians, they just have no emotion, huh? I started talking shit to him right away to get him amped up. Like, you couldn't really see if you were watching on TV. They talked about it a little bit. But right away, I was really respectful the whole entire time. At weigh-ins, everything, I didn't say nothing to him. And then I was like, all right, once this fight, before the fight starts, I'm going to start. So I was walking all the way over to him when they were announcing him. You couldn't see it on the camera, but I walked all the way to his corner. The security, everyone's grabbing me, pulling me back to bring me back to my corner. And 2 or 3 times I walked over there talking shit to him, And I was more because I was just trying to get his nerves going, get him to come out amped up and firing hard. And that guy showed no emotion, man. He was just like, okay. He's like, gave me a little thumbs up. No emotion. I was like, okay, these guys are like robots or something. But so he was a lot tougher. I thought I would take him out, but I just couldn't find that right hand. I don't know. I thought his left. I went in there thinking he had a right hand, and that was it. I was like a right hand, and then he, would throw hard, but it would have some grappling, and his left started landing on my face, as you could tell. I still got a little damage here. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I did not go in here thinking this guy was going to even touch me. But it was good, man. I loved it. I had fun in there. I enjoyed it. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be trying to fight Ramazan,
Yeah, I was getting a lot of comments on our interview on YouTube. People were being like, wow, great performance against a really tough guy. So people saw how tough he was. His reputation preceded him for sure. Can I ask what you were saying to him in there? I mean, what kinds of things were you coming up with? Like, I can only imagine what a fighter is saying in that moment, but what did you say to him?
Well, so let me just tell you. First off, I was being disrespectful, but it wasn't a personal attack. So even I told a couple of my Russian buddies and stuff, was like, I knew Ramazan was going to be tough. You know, and I say this stuff even in the fight. I'm saying stuff to him, and I'll tell you what I was saying. But it was more just to try to get in his head, try to get him amped up, get him going, and more to get myself going as well, because I didn't want to be lulled in this slow fight, which it was still kind of slow, but not as slow as it could have been, because he's a guy that really fucking slows down fights. So, I mean, I was calling him like a bitch. I was like, let's fucking go. Like, and I'm like, I was telling him this is my fucking cage, and just stuff like that. I was just calling, you know, I don't know if I don't fully know what I was saying, you know, because a couple points I was like, telling him that wasn't shit, you know, and I was like, that's it. Like, you hit like a bitch and stuff like that. I was kind of saying all kinds of crazy shit. I was a little erratic. Even after the fight, I was in the back doing some of the interviews, and Brock and the PR lady are like, can you let them know that was a joke, Tony? Like, because I was saying some stuff, and I started laughing, but, you know, because you have the translator, and the translator's having struggling because I'm saying such crazy shit. It was just like, I don't know. Sometimes you get in this mode where you just, anything comes out.
It's playground stuff, right?
Yeah. It's the same stuff that I do with all my buddies. You know, I'm talking shit to them. I call all my buddies pussies and all this stuff, but it's not that I think they're a pussy. It's just the way that I'm talking my shit to them.
Right. I mean, you had respect for the guy. It's just you're talking respectful with just playful banter, as we like to say.
Yeah.
I thought the game plan was pretty brilliant. Those calf kicks were nasty, man. Like, you just kept landing them over and over again. They were adding up in a big way. He was super uncomfortable in there. You've never really seen him that uncomfortable in a fight before. Was that something that you and your team saw as you were preparing for the fight, like looking at footage and stuff, or did that just come to you in there?
No. I mean, definitely that's the game plan going in, is lots of calf kicks. But, you know, I wanted my right hand to start landing a little bit more. But no, it's definitely, I cannot believe he was still like walking and trying to come after me. I'm just like, man, the balls on this guy is insane. Like, he just will not go away. But I mean, you could tell the same fight with when I fought Sergio Moraes, destroyed his calf. When I fought Jake Matthews, destroyed his calf. But I think Jake was more of a leaper in, where he had to put a lot of pressure on that front leg, so his leg was giving out a little more. Where I felt like Ramazan would stand strong, but a lot of his weight was still in the back leg, so he wouldn't push off that front leg as much, so he wouldn't go down. But no, obviously I'm out here with the Lima brothers, you know, so these calf kicks are the recipe, and I'm putting it to good use right now.
Do you think the calf kick is the most underutilized tool in MMA? Like, I'm not a fighter, but I feel like at this point, the evolution of martial arts is still a really young sport, MMA. There's not much of an answer to it.
So I found an answer to it. But I won't tell you the answer to it.
I didn't think you would.
But I know the answer to it. And there's other answers to the answer, right? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. You answer that. But I've been saying it for a while now. I'm telling you right now, the fucking calf kicks have changed the game. It's crazy. Think about the same fight with versus Iaquinta and who's the last guy that just beat Iaquinta?
Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker, calf kicks right away, fucking started destroying Iaquinta. And you had Ray Longo and Matt Serra saying the craziest stuff I've ever heard in a corner, because they're like, just walk through the calf kick. Like, calf kick ain't going to do nothing. I'm like, dude, you guys are crazy. Like, it's like your leg shuts down. It's not that Iaquinta doesn't have, because we all know Iaquinta's balls are as big as anyone's in the sport. It's just the calf kicks have really changed the game, and somehow the calf kicks have really changed my whole entire striking game as well, where it wasn't until, the Jake Matthews fight that I really started throwing any calf kicks. And that was kind of that first fight where everything started changing, man. And ever since then, you just better hope you're not an orthodox fighter.
It's just crazy. I feel like every fighter that's coming up in the game right now, like, I feel like the first day you go to a gym, I mean, obviously you want to learn how to throw a jab and stuff like that, but I feel like a calf kick should be learned like right away at this point.
Oh man, it changes the whole game. It slows the other opponent down so much, and it really is like, man, you got to play this. The game is also changed now so much where it's a dart in, dart out game. It's so much as like a in the pocket. It's not an in the pocket like back in the day where you'd see these crazy brawls, where now it's like a really hit, don't get hit game where I don't know. I feel like those calf kicks is kind of a longer range too. So as a longer fighter, you can fucking launch those things all day and just start ripping people up.
You had some good submission attempts in that fight. That first Kimura, you just missed it. Like I thought you had it. Honestly, how close was that?
I had it. So I had it. My paper was Kimura, by the way. So I've been telling everyone that I was going to Kimura him and finish. And I was going to have it. I had it written out on the paper in Brock's pocket that I was going to win by Kimura, and I just was fucking centimeters, man. I just couldn't get the right angle. Like, he was just defending just perfectly enough where even I got it out behind the back for a second, but I just couldn't get a certain angle to like get the roll to force him to roll over. Because all it would have taken was him to roll through, and it was going to be over. Like at that point. So I was like, this is it. This is the finish. But he defended well, man. I was impressed. But I knew he was kind of a Kimura guy because I watched his last fight. And every time that guy shot a takedown on him, he would go right to the Kimura. And that's how he was defending on a takedown. So going into the fight, I really thought that I'd rather shoot in or come up with a single. He would grab the Kimura, I'd re-Kimura and finish the Kimura. Or go, he shoots in and I go to the Kimura right away. And I really thought it was going to be over at that point. He just defended right. It sucked. I mean, I thought that was it.
And then not long after that, I think you had the world record for the quickest butt scoot across the octagon in UFC history in that fight. Like, that'll take some steam out of someone's ground game. That was like crazy to watch someone butt scoot across the cage as fast as you did.
No, that's Mike Brown, man. Mike Brown, for the last 2 years down there, he's literally changed MMA grappling for me, where it's like MMA grappling now is so much on just getting back to your feet other than sweeping and just submissions. But I always attack the submission first. If I don't get the submission, now I'm looking to get right back up. And the easiest way, man, Mike Brown has got this recipe where we scoot to the cage, have this whizzer, and I used to be only adamant on underhooks and how important underhooks into getting back up were. But underhooks are very good as well. But the other way is just scoot back that cage, get that whizzer. And I worked on that for 2 years with Mike Brown down at Coconut Creek. So that was definitely a big shout out to him there.
You get the win. You actually called him out when we chatted prior to the fight, but you also called out the whole damn roster in that conversation as well. But you doubled down on Niko Price on Saturday after the win. I tweeted something similar on Saturday. Niko retweeted it right away, so I assume he's all in for this fight as well. I mean, that's the fight, right? He
did that last time, though. He did that before Tampa. He was talking like we were going to fight, but he's not texting Sean like, hey, let me fight Tony. You know, I'm texting Sean saying, let me fight Niko. He's not doing the same, because if he did the same, the UFC would have made this fight in Tampa. So instead, he went and fought fucking, I don't even remember who he fought, but he didn't want to fight me, or he fought Vic, you know? And I that just went to show me, like, he'll fight anyone. We know Niko will fight anyone. I'm not saying he's scared to fight me. He just doesn't see it as a winnable fight. You know, I don't think his skill set matches up very well with me. I think that he's more of a wild man, and I think that my striking's better, and my grappling's better. I think I'm better everywhere. He's also trained down an American Top Team at Coconut Creek, and I know that everyone that's trained with him, I know all the coaches that have trained with them, and believe me, they've all been telling me for the last 2 years down there to get this Niko Price fight.
So if you had it your way at this point, realistically, this is the fight to make. I think fans want it too. That tweet got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people tweet out like, you know, I want to see Tony fight this guy, but I put that out there. Everyone retweeted it. Lots of likes. Like, it seems like this is the fight people want to see.
Well, it takes two people to be an exciting fight. You know, so you can't have just one person to have an exciting fight. So it's always like people are like, oh, you're kind of like in these slower fights, but I need a guy that's going to really come after me. You want to make a fight exciting, get a guy that's going to chase you down, because I'm a range striker. I fight it at range. So why am I going to close range to like fight inside the pocket to make it exciting when I can piece you apart from the out back? So now it's your job as a fighter to come after me. And I'll tell you what, right now, Niko Price is going to come after me. There's no doubt in my mind that Niko Price is going to sit back and do a tit for tat fight. I know for sure Niko Price is going to come out there fucking swinging to take me out. And then if we ever get in any grappling exchanges, this guy's going to be throwing some of the craziest shit that I've ever seen. You can't replicate it in training, but I'm just that confident that I'm that much better than him. And I think for some reason, Topology has him ranked ahead of me, and I know that we're both on that verge of the top 15, which I have no idea. He's got, what is he, like 1-1, 1-1, like the guy's winning like every other one. I don't think he's got the resume I have. He's just had these like fluky, flashy knockouts. But I mean, I don't think I don't think he's not a good fighter. I just think that my skill set is on a whole nother level than his. I don't think like he's gonna last a fucking 2 minutes with Damian Maia. You know what I mean? So I think that he could knock anyone out. This is one of those guys that I always say they can't be a champion. It's because they're too reckless. They can't put like a full game plan together because their only game plan is going there and just fucking like a wild man, which is awesome to watch though, no doubt about it. So I'd love to fight Niko.
I think that's a fight to make, no doubt about that.
I think it's an exciting fight, and I think that it's a great fight for the fans. And I think that it's also just a fight that is that next level for both of us, where we're on that verge of stepping in and really making being in that top 15, top 10.
ATT Atlanta is really getting on the map right now. It started with Douglas Lima. What a phenomenal performance against Rory McDonald. He's the Bellator welterweight champion again. He won $1 million bucks.
Diego fought. Like
Diego won too. Yeah.
That. Yeah. So Diego fought 2 weeks out in Australia, and then like you said, Douglas is fucking finally getting the respect he deserves. And I thought he handled Rory pretty well. So really easy. I don't think Rory has anything for him. But yeah, so then I'm out here now. Fucking, we got Jakawa. He's gonna fight New Zealand in 2 weeks here, so he's next on the map to end the year strong.
Did you enjoy your trip to Mohegan?
I did. I think it's fucking really nice, huh?
It is. It is really nice.
I've never been there before.
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I've been to
Foxwoods.
Yeah, Foxwoods. And I don't know. I thought this place was ridiculous. I don't know. Like Foxwoods might be. I only kind of went in the arena of Foxwoods though, so I didn't really see. Because I heard Foxwoods like the second biggest casino in the world, is it not?
It's up there. Yeah, I don't know if it's like the overall casino. I know that like their poker room is one of the biggest in the world. I haven't been there in so long, so
yeah. I think it was. I looked it up. It was because someone was saying it was the biggest. It's the second biggest in the U.S. There's one in Texas bigger than Foxwoods. But I guess I only went to the arena, so I haven't really seen it. But yeah, Mohegan Sun, I thought that place was really nice. I was out there like, geez, you don't ever have to leave. You're in there. Anything you want is right in there.
Yeah, it's a pretty phenomenal place. It was a phenomenal performance from Douglas as well.
Yeah.
You get the win on Saturday. You get on the mic, and you dedicated the win to your mom, who unfortunately, as you revealed in the cage, has stage 4 breast cancer. And obviously, I'm very sorry to hear that. That's
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to even move forward from that. But is this something you knew about for a while, or did you get this news pretty close to the fight?
No, I knew about maybe like 10 weeks ago or something like that. 10 weeks ago, that my mom had breast cancer like 7 years ago, and then she had a double mastectomy, and then did all the chemo, did all that, and was supposedly cancer free, for the last like 6-7 years, and then now she went into remission, and then it's inside of her bones now. So now it's like there's no cure for it anymore, because now it's inside of the bones, stage 4. There's no cure. So I knew now that for a while, but they don't really know. They think that she's probably in the 3 to 5 year range of living, but they don't really know until they see the scans again the second time of like how fast it's spreading. And so everyone's different. It could be, how that works. It could be 6 months, it could be 3 years. Who knows exactly? But it's more of just there's no cure now. So it's just there's no way to stop the spreading. It's just only thing you do is try to slow it down. But obviously, yeah, I knew about 10 weeks before the fight, which definitely sucks. Going in there and just knowing that hey, your mom's dying. You don't know how much longer she's got, and so yeah, that was kind of I don't know how I got so emotional. Like, Jesus Christ. I was like an emotional wreck out there. But no, so I definitely want to take her somewhere special. And I've been telling her for a while, like, she still hasn't got her passport. I'm like, listen, I told you right when I found out, go get that passport. Let's go, let's go to Italy. Let's go to these places. So we're going to do some vacationing for sure.
How were you able to fight with all of this on your mind? Like, I can't even imagine it at this point. Like, you get this news 10 weeks before you're traveling to Russia, of all places, to fight a Russian fighter. Like, how are you able to deal with all that, train and get ready for the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was just a different. I mean, I don't know. I think I was so depressed before. I told you I think I was such in a depression before this Maia fight that I just feel so happy, dude. It's weird. I don't know. I've never been depressed my whole life until then. And I just feel happy. I just feel like I'm just living in the moment, you know, and I understand like death's a part of life. You know, my mom's, you know, she's a great person and she's a fighter. She's been, you know, and we had a crazy life, you know, me and my mom have had a crazy life. She's had a crazy life. And I feel like the hardest part's not necessarily like, hey, your mom dies, you know, it's more like knowing that you're dying now. You know, I feel like that kind of sucks. It's like, shit, last thing I ever want to know is, hey, Tony, you got 6 months, you're dying. Like, whoa, like, don't fucking tell me, just let me go. So that part, you know, because of, I don't know, you know, she's kind of dealt with depression her whole life and it's done that part of living. So she's had a rough life growing up. And obviously you think that you beat cancer and then you're fucking all of a sudden you're like, think you're healthy, and then boom, all of a sudden it hits again. So that part kind of was tough. But I think it's more just knowing like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, enjoy the moment with my mom and try to win these fights and make some money, and let's go enjoy the few years that she has instead of, you know, be down on the situation.
That's a good way to look at it. Did your mom watch the fight on Saturday?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they said she was with all my family and all the people. I guess they're all bawling, and you know, so I was. I'm gonna go. I actually fly to Minnesota tomorrow, so I'll go see my mom and sisters and my daughter. So we're gonna have Thanksgiving this Saturday, a little early, so we can get that out of the way and spend some good quality time.
You're just gonna crush turkey, aren't you? After all that, you're just gonna hammer it home, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I mean I eat kind of whatever I want, so I don't binge anymore after fights. Like I did at 55, I would be like so starving afterwards where I'd eat everything and anything. But now I'm like, don't even feel really hungry after fights because I just eat whatever I want. I mean, I'm tiny, man. I'm tiny right now. I got in the cage at 175 pounds. So I'm like, I got in there at 175. I'm just like, listen, I'm probably the smallest 170 pound fighter in the world. But the thing is, you got to be like twice as good. Because I think that, you know, I feel like I just got this skill set now where worst case scenario, I just got to get ugly. And I still think that 5-round fight suits me a little bit better. So I'm trying to work my way to those main events.
And obviously you're happy now. You're feeling good. I mean, this has got to be a nice little freeing feeling, just feeling that way, especially heading into a fight. Everything played out, you know, the way you expected it to. You got a nice win. You got on a lot of people's radars as well. You probably got a big fight coming up. Hopefully with the Niko Price, I think that makes all the sense in the world. It's got to be a pretty good feeling right now, especially coming off the loss to Damian.
Yeah, I mean, so the biggest problem of Tony is Rocco, whatever you want to call me, okay, is that I'm like a very what's next guy. So like people are like, oh, are you really happy? I mean, I'm kind of happy the day of. But right now, I don't feel like a thrill in my heart of like, hey, you've accomplished anything. So I think that's like kind of like, it might be really good, but it's probably a lonely life as well, where I'm just like, what's next? Like I need more. So it's kind of like I always need more. So even now I'm just like, what's next? Like, let's get to work. You know, I'm right now, you know, it's my third fight of my 4-fight contract. So I got one fight left on this contract. So if the UFC doesn't want to renegotiate now, then this next fight's a huge fight. You know, so it's a make or break fight, which I like pressure though, man. I think I thrive under the pressure. I think it just makes me a lot better fighter. And outside one fight off contracts all the time if the UFC really wanted to. You know, if that's what they wanted to do and they're just like, listen, we don't want to sign you long term, I'd be like, look, we can sign one fight contracts all day. You know, because I think that just really puts the pressure on me. And like I said, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with that. I'm not satisfied with a decision win in Russia. It's a win, though. I need to accept it and be like, listen, all right, what I got to do? So now I'm looking at what do I do to be a better fighter, a more exciting fighter, a more ruthless fighter, and how to be the best fighter in the world. Because I'm going to be out there December 14th, you know, in Vegas watching that title fight. And no matter who wins, that's who I'm gunning for. You know, that's the end goal. That's what I'm chasing. I'm not chasing paychecks or exciting fights. I'm chasing the champion. You know, so when I feel like that dream's dead, then I think that it's time for Tony to walk away.
The thing that really stuck out in our last conversation was you admitted that you need to repair your relationship with the UFC. Have we taken any steps forward? Any conversation with Shelby? Anything like that?
I mean, I saw him on the bus. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" You know, I tried to get him to sit next to me, but he was fine. I mean, I thought it was kind of like a weird. Cause I didn't see him right away, but no, I mean, I think we're gonna be good. You know, I'm gonna try to go out in Vegas and see if I go have dinner or something with him. Yeah, I'm in that full blown. Like I told you, I'm in full blown kiss ass mode. Like, I told you, let's kick ass and let's kiss ass. So, I think he understands. It's a tough business being a fighter too. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I think it's the hardest fucking job in the world because you're battling. Because you also, it's not just winning fights doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Look at fucking 8-2 in my last 10 fights in the UFC, or fucking 5-1 at welterweight. It's like, I'm not any big star. You know what I mean? I'm not this big name, but I'm fucking trying hard. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do and who to fuck up. You know, who's asked to kiss. Whatever I got to do right now is what I'm doing. But that's to stick around. That's because you have to be a star to be a champion. You have to be a star to get these big fights. You have to be a star to be on the main event. It's not like these other sports where there's a playoff where, obviously PFL is kind of starting something like that. But I'm like, right now, popularity does really matter. You know what I mean? You see guys like Melendez, because they're popular, can lose 6 fights and we're still in the UFC, but finally he's cut. But so, I just got to make sure, like, hey, whatever we got to do to, like, make this work is what I'm willing to do. You know what I mean? And I am happy. Like I said, I'm happy. The UFC, obviously, is by far the biggest organization. They pay the most money out of any other promotion. Some other promotions pay more money to a few guys that you'll see, but you don't even see what the champions in the UFC make because it's all under the table hidden money. You know what I mean? People saw all those numbers all the time. They'd probably be like, oh yeah, Bellator don't pay shit, or these guys don't pay shit, But so I know that the UFC is doing what they need to do. Obviously, I think there's always more money out there, but listen, I'm happy. I'm living life, but I'm also not putting money away for my future yet. So I need to start making more money. I need to start whooping more ass. I need a fight. That's what I need right now. I'm ready to go back in there. So I'm all healed up. My foot was a little swollen after the fight, but that was it.
When do you want to get back?
I guess. I'd fight January, February, whenever they want, So, I mean, I'd rather know sooner so I don't get too wild, over like that Vegas trip, but I'm not too worried about it.
Look how far you've come. Look at you. From like the last couple of years, the things that you've said, and now we're talking taking Sean Shelby to dinner. I mean, this is a brand new Anthony Rocco Martin. This is so refreshing.
Yeah. No, now it's just like, honestly, you want to know what it was? I think it was more of like this. Obviously, I told you I was kind of going in a mild depression, I think, where I felt like it was like me versus everyone. You know what I mean? I think that now that, obviously, I'm almost fucking isolated. You know what I mean? I'm in Atlanta. I'm close with the Lima brothers and Jakau and all my teammates. But outside of training, you don't really see them. Maybe once in a while. They're all married with kids. So it's like we're not like hanging out or like going over there and like doing all this stuff all the time. So really, I come back to my camper and I'm in here and I'm just like, all right, I'm just by myself. It's kind of just being happy with yourself. And I go on these hiking trips and I'm just relaxing more of like in nature and kind of I was in the sun for a while. Now it's kind of cold, but so I think that really opened my mind that listen, you make the world what it is. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I've switched my mindset to is it's not me versus the world. You know what I mean? It's I make the world what I want the world to be for me. You know what I mean? So I think it's just kind of switching that same kind of train of thought in a way where it's like you versus the world, but it's really you like with the world. You know what I mean? Like you make the world what you want to see it, the world as. So I think that I've been trying to change that mindset a little bit, and that's kind of made me a lot more pleasurable person, I think.
Well, let me ask you this. If the Patriots play in the Super Bowl this year, how are you going to be on social media? Are you just going to rip all Patriots fans like you did that year?
No, I'm not going to. I might take a lot of bets, you know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely always open to gambling, So anytime, and you hit or miss on gambling, obviously, I'm not always right. I'm going to tell you right now, December 14th, I'm going to show you guys all my bets. Tony's going to be putting a lot of money in the bets. I don't know. I got to find a place where they're going to take like some good quality betting going there. Yeah.
Are you willing to reveal any of those picks right now? I mean,
I got Usman winning for sure. Not Usman. Jesus, Colby winning.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
No, Colby. I think Colby melts Usman. You know, I think Usman's a really good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I really think that it's probably the fucking two best welterweights in the world going at it right now. I mean, in the UFC, because I think Douglas obviously is one of those top welterweights as well. But right now, you get these two guys fucking at the climax of their careers going at it. And I just really think that, man, Colby is a horrible matchup for Usman because Usman doesn't have an ability to submit him. You know what I mean? So it's like, and just Colby has that pace. So I'm going to definitely bet heavy on Colby. And then I'll probably do some parlays. You know, I think that I'm going to do some parlays with Colby in there as well. I think Jeff Neal melts Mike Perry as well. I think that Jeff Neal's just too technical of a striker. He'll mix in takedowns. I mean, you got Jeff Neal that's a striker that made Niko Price look like he was a white belt in BJJ. So I think that we got those two. Obviously, Amanda's almost free money every time, you know, every time she goes out there. So you could parlay her in there. And I also think that Max Holloway is just going to be too much for Volkanovski. Even though Volkanovski really strong, really tough, man, Max is so long and big. You know, he's just a big dude for 145. It's like you look at him, it's like Jesus, like you got to figure it out.
That card is nuts. The card is
crazy. And so, well, then you got Faber versus Peter Yan. Then you have you got Aldo versus
versus Moraes. Yes.
That's a crazy fight too, man.
I gotta pull this up now.
I mean, did you see? I don't know, man. Moraes is a scary guy in there. Man.
The first fight on the prelims is Matt Brown versus Ben Saunders. That's the first fight on the prelims. That fight's gonna be crazy.
No, if this card stays together, oh shit, huh? No, I told him that's the first thing. First thing I was texting my manager after the fight. He's like, "Hey, anything I could do for you, let me know." I'm like, "Yeah, give me tickets that December 14th."
Done and done.
Yeah, so I fucking was like right away. I'm like, "Yeah, anything I could do for your mom." I'm like, "Yeah." She said 2 tickets for her son on December 14th.
Oh man. Well, always a pleasure to chat with you, Tony. Congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, all that good stuff. Anything else you want to get off your chest, man? The floor is yours.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Obviously, I appreciate all the support from everyone else. Thank you, Russia. You know what I mean? That was fun. I had a blast there. But you can follow me at Anthony Rocco Martin on Instagram. My Twitter's Tony Rocco Martin because it just didn't fit in the whole handle. So yeah, I mean, I try to reply to everyone. I had 1 million messages on Instagram. I try to respond to every single person. You know, even the haters, I'll respond to them all. I love it. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you all the time having me on here.
Absolutely, man. Enjoy your early Thanksgiving. Enjoy your trip out to see your mom. Send her the very best from us, and I'm sure everybody in the MMA circle at this point. And have fun December 14th, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.